fires for the end zone. Touchdown! Alabama wins!
To me, Alabama and Nick Saban, this is a dynasty, what he's created in Tuscaloosa and the Alabama program that makes them the bar in college football.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Kangaroo Black coming back to talk about this article I ran up on, talking about how terrible Alabama was last season as far as the offensive line, the special teams, and the damn secondary. Now, I know that we was terrible on the daggone offensive line, but I didn't know the secondary and special teams was this damn bad. But luckily we got new coaches at all those rooms, so we'll see how it's going to be in 2022. But let's talk about this offensive line from last year, who was coached by Doug Marrone. The offensive line gave up 104 tackles for loss. Third worst in the nation. All right. Only two teams was ahead of us, Southern Miss and Kent State. So Alabama was worst out of all Power 5 schools at giving up tackles for loss. That is sad. That just don't happen at Alabama. That is unacceptable, man. Unacceptable. This damn article described Alabama offensive line from 2021. It was an offensive line that played soft, played undisciplined, drew too many penalties, could not find continuity, could not stay healthy, and repeatedly failed to open holes in the running game, as Alabama fielded the second worst rushing attack in the last 15 years. So we had the second worst rushing attack in the Nick Saban era. Yeah, I know Bryce Young, Brian Robinson was the only bright spot in the run game. He got, a little over 1,300 yards rushing, but still that don't cover up the fact of how terrible this offensive line is, because the run game depends on the offensive line. Passing game depends on the offensive line, unless you got a dynamic quarterback like Bryce Young. But yet, these guys was terrible, man. Terrible. Not to mention that they gave up 42 sacks from game one to the national championship game. You get that your quarterback gets sacked 42 times because you, as an offensive line, can't protect him. That is terrible. And that does have a lot to do with the coaching. But also, it falls on the players also. That was terrible, man. That was terrible. Luckily, we got Eric Wolford from Kentucky. I think he gonna get the job done this season, and I feel like it'll be a drastic change between the offensive line of 2021 and the offensive line of 2022. This article describes Coach Wolford as an offensive line specialist with a 25-year body of work in college and the NFL, creating physical, nasty units. And that's what we need. That's how we used to have it at Alabama. I don't know what the hell was last year. But usually Alabama has a damn dominating offensive line. Last season, I believe, just was a damn one-off. At least that's how I like to think about it. He says Eric Wolford, he comes in, quickly fixes problems, and teams improves. And they gave an example of how he did with South Carolina in his 3 years. 2016, they gave up 102 tackles for loss. 2017, they improved by giving up 73, which was a drastic improvement. 2018, they only gave up just 60. So hopefully he can make that kind of improvement at Alabama. Hell, I don't even want to see 60 really. But hell, if he can get us down to 60, 70, shit, that'll be great, man. But if he can get us under 60, that would be even better, man. So there it is. That's how terrible our offensive line was in 2022, in 2021, and that is unacceptable coming into this year. We can't have that at all. All right, let's talk about this damn special teams, which basically was non-existent last year. All right. So the article says this was the worst overall return game we've ever seen at Alabama. Only Jameson Williams kept it from being bottom of the barrel. Damn shame, man. And this special team was coached by Drew Savita last year. Drew Sabata. So hopefully we'll be better this year. Coach Saban fired his ass too. Went out and got a young special teams coach. But anyway, as far as the return game, the kick return game, we had 19 kick returns. Jameson Williams took 10 up, and he averaged 35 yards per kick return. Slade Bolden took the rest, the other 9. He averaged 17 yards on one. The other 8, he only averaged 13 yards or less. So if you wanted penalties deep, kick it to Slade Bolden. Of course, I guess nobody wanted opening up the damn lanes for him either. So got to take that into account. As far as the punt returns, that was no damn better, man. In 10 games, Alabama finished with 10 fewer yards than everybody else. We was ranked, we was ranked 65th in punt return yards. That was only because in 2 games, Jameson Williams, one of them, he had 117 yards against Mercer and 71 yards against New Mexico State. All right, but he did return two punts for touchdowns, so that did help us out a lot. But the thing is, everybody else who returned the punt, which was on 22 attempts, they only averaged 83 yards off 22 attempts. That was terrible. So it was crazy. The only Power 5 teams who was worse than Alabama on punt return was Nebraska and Georgia Tech, and both of them went 3-9 on the season. So we was bottom of the barrel. That's a damn shame. Once again, unacceptable at Alabama. It is sad. It is sad, man. And the thing about it, we had the nation's top punt return man in Jameson Williams. It's fucking sad, man. But anyway, we got a new coach. Got a new special teams coach. 36 years old, Coleman Hutzler. He was at Ole Miss last season. He was at Texas for a season as a co-defensive coordinator. He spent 4 seasons at South Carolina as a special teams coach. 2015, he was at Boston College, and he had 2 stints at Florida. So he got a lot of experience. So hopefully he'll bring something to the team and fix this damn special team, man, so we can get more return yards, because last year was damn ridiculous, especially with damn Slade Bolden and everybody else who returned kicks. Hell, JoJo Earl returned a few of them too, so he got to get better in that area if they put him back there after he healed up. All right, now let's talk about this damn secondary who was coached by Jay Levita. They talked about this, his innovative defensive back strategy of not contesting 50-50 balls. Oh, they clowning us, man. All right, Alabama was ranked 63rd in pass efficiency defense. Not good. We surrendered 25 passing touchdowns, the 8th worst in the country. Damn, man. This is crazy, talking about Alabama like this. Only 9 teams allowed more yards than Alabama through the air. Defensive backs surrendered the 5th most completions of anybody in the country at Alabama. Can y'all believe that shit? That is fucking ridiculous. The 5th most of anybody in the country far as completions at Alabama. I can't believe this shit. Oh man, that was crazy. In games against ranked opponents, Alabama only had 2 interceptions, and both of them came in the same game. Oh man, all the other daggone ranked teams We gave up 10 passing touchdowns. Sad. And guess what? We had a 5-to-1 ratio TD to interception rate. So we giving up 5 touchdowns and only getting 1 interception. You can't win like that at all, man. At all, man. We allowed opponents to complete almost 64% of their passes last season. Unacceptable, man. But guess what? Oh yeah, the defensive backs was coached by Jay Vila, but he's gone now. And in comes another young coach, 40-year-old Travis Robinson, man. He was at he got a lot of coaching experience. 2008, he was at Western Kentucky as a defensive back coach. 2009, he was at Southern Miss as a cornerback coach. 2010, he was at Texas Tech as a defensive back coach. 2011 through 2014, he was at Florida as a defensive back coach. 2015, he was at Auburn as a defensive back coach. 2016 through 2020, he was at South Carolina as a defensive coordinator and a defensive back coach. 2021, last season, he was at Miami. So it says he was hired to mentor the cornerbacks as well as bring aboard a quality SEC veteran coach with defensive coordinator-like experience. So, but anyway, hey, we gotta improve in that area too, man. Giving up all them damn yards and touchdowns through the air, it just can't happen. Not here, not in Alabama. It is unacceptable. We will not accept that. So yes, offensive line was terrible last season. Freaking special teams was mediocre last season. Defensive backs was mediocre last season. Bottom of the barrel, bottom of the barrel, bottom of the barrel. So we got to get this shit fixed fast and in a hurry, because time is running out. I'm quite sure we didn't improve in all areas by right now, but we got to get this shit up to par, because last season was unacceptable. I don't know how we won as many games as we did. I don't know how we won the SEC championship. I don't know how we made it to the national championship with this shit. All right, but hey, we did it, and we can't try that shit no more. We got to be much better, and I have no doubt that in 2022 we will be a whole lot better, and we will be the best team in the damn country, coming off a season like we had last season. So, as Lane Kiffin say, get your popcorn ready and roll damn tide.